Hey guys, today we are making one of my favorite things that I make all the time in all different ways is pizza. I'll turn about anything into a pizza crust and throw that good sauce on it that we've learned in the previous module. Some good old cheese and bake it. So I love pizza. So here's a really great recipe that I've been making for a long time that I found in a cookbook that I actually typed up for my kids back in 2014. So we are going to proof our yeast like you've learned in the previous module. So I've taken the water, sugar, and yeast and proofed it. And in my stand mixer, I am measuring out my flour and my spices. Now, you do not need to use the spices, but it does give the dough a different flavor. So if you'd like to try it, go for it. If you want to use one of them or all of them, go ahead or put in your own spices and experiment and see what happens. But I like it just for an extra little flavor. Then I'm going to go ahead and pour in my proofed yeast. I'm going to attach my dough hook to my stand mixer, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it on low. Don't forget to add in the little bit of olive oil. The key to good pizza crust is having olive oil in it, even if it's just a tablespoon or two. That will make the dough so much more soft, and it just seems to be better. Every recipe that I know, it just has a good old amount of olive oil, so don't forget that little bit in there. So you're going to mix it, and you're going to see that it's coming off away from the bowl itself and sticking around the dough hook itself. I'm thinking this is a little too dry, so I go ahead and just add in another tablespoon of water just to help it. And then I'm feeling like, okay, this is looking nice and soft. I'm going to pull it off from the dough hook, and then I'm going to put a little bit more of olive oil back in my bowl. And then we're going to put the dough back into the bowl and cover it for an hour. But you can see that I'm playing with the dough. It feels just like Play-Doh. It's nice and soft and elastic, smooth looking. So we're just going to go ahead and do the olive oil like I said, and then we're going to cover it for 1 hour. And then we're going to come back and we're going to pat it out. I just turn it over to coat it, see, like that, just so it doesn't dry out. And then it makes it easier actually to pat it out onto the cookie sheet. Okay, it has proofed and it's doubled within an hour. If your kitchen is really cold, maybe put it in a warmer spot or put it in the oven where it's out of a drafty spot. It will proof differently between the different seasons, but that was during the winter, and within an hour it did that. That yeast that you buy, the active dry yeast, really makes things puff up real quick. So we're going to go ahead and just go. I put olive oil on my sheet. You can see I did quite a bit, maybe 2 tablespoons. I think it makes the crust crispy, a little bit crispy, and I really like it, and then helps not stick, of course. And then there's some on my hands, so that helped me just kind of pat it out. So then I just kind of let that sit for about 10 or 15 minutes just to kind of get a little fluffy. A little fluffier. You can even go longer if you want really thick crust. I wouldn't go past a half hour, so set a timer. And then I poked a few holes just so they didn't bubble up, have bubbles anywhere when I was baking it. I'm going to top it with that homemade sauce, lots of cheese, and I had pepperoni, so I put pepperoni in this pizza today. But you could put any kind of toppings, dice it up. You learned how to dice veggies in the previous module, so you can put whatever you want on it. You can get crazy, right? Pineapple, anchovies, ham, sausage. I just like pepperoni, onion, and banana peppers. So we're going to cover it. Then we're going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Don't put it in prior to. We want to make sure it's nice and warm. So you're going to put it in for 20 minutes once it's preheated. Then you'll see that it's nice and bubbly after it gets done. An option is to hit your broil for 1 minute to make the cheese even get a little more browner. So it's up to you and how you guys work if you have a broiler on it. But check out that pizza. It's sizzling. I just pulled it out. All that cheese is popping. Then we're going to go ahead and cut it. After, I want you to let it set for at least 10 minutes before you cut pizza. It's so hard because it's so tasty, but this way that the cheese will stay onto the crust itself. If you cut it while it's still hot, it'll slip and slide everywhere. So wait 10 minutes, come back and cut it, and then go ahead and devour